My name is Annie Judd. I was born and raised in Southern Virginia. I serve here at UGO's Ensenada campus as a volunteer program leader. Growing up, I remember going to church every Sunday with my sister and my parents. It was a weekly thing. But when I turned 18, I began to follow the ways of the world. Within that came panic attacks and anxiety. My mom and I were both diagnosed with melanoma. One of my closest friends was killed in a car accident, and the list just goes on and on and on. About 8 years ago, the panic attacks became overwhelming and consumed my life. I was tired of living life this way. I was tired of living life the way I had it planned. I was tired of running. My uncle boldly prayed over me one day, and it was at that moment that I decided to follow Jesus wholeheartedly. I had this overwhelming hunger for him, and I needed ways to fulfill that hunger. I started doing Bible studies, attended Christian retreats, made new friends that loved Jesus, and I began going to a new church. Within that new church became an opportunity to come to UGO to serve on a one-week mission trip. That trip literally changed my life. I looked forward to coming back each year after that and counted down the days until it was time to come. About 3 years ago, God decided to make me uncomfortable. That was probably one of the darkest times in my life, but during that time, I kept hearing in my heart and my mind, Mexico, Mexico. I thought he was crazy. This awesome opportunity came available for me to come down to Ensenada, to UGO, to serve and be the hands and feet of Jesus. It was time to stop living the plans that I had made for myself and live the plans that God had already paved the way for. In Jeremiah 29:11, it tells us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." It was time to live that verse. Being obedient to the call of Jesus meant leaving my family and leaving my friends. It meant coming to a country where I didn't know the language, where my family wasn't here, where I didn't have friends. It meant truly depending on God to provide for every part of my life. Over the last 2 years, I have seen God move profoundly through this ministry, this country, and myself. He has given me friendships that are truly rooted in His Word and people that truly love and care about me. He's given me interns to lead and to love. He's given me purpose. He has made me part of a ministry that truly loves their staff. In May, the anxiety I mentioned earlier came creeping back in. It slowly began to consume my life. During those agonizing weeks, I kept asking God, why me? Why again? Why do I have to continuously go through this? And then it clicked. When we lose focus of what we're doing and we're in a dry season of our lives, it's important to get our priorities back in line. I had to realign myself with the cross and get my eyes focused back on Jesus. During that time, Jesus broke my heart into so many pieces, but began putting it back together in ways that I couldn't even imagine. He made me brave. He made me strong. He gave me courage. In Joshua 1:9, it says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord will go with you always." Even if He never takes away my anxiety, even if He calls us to step out of our comfort zones to follow Him, or even if we go through trials and tribulations just to reach one person to know Jesus and for Him to be glorified through it all, then it's all worth it. If I can leave you with anything today, it's this. Be a light in this dark world. Always be kind. Be brave. God bless.